Through the darkness shines the light is one of my poems, but also came true for me in a very dramatic way. Following the most traumatic time in my life, as I worked hard to heal, some incredible things happened. I started having some deeply profound personal realizations, visions, lucid dreaming, and also new abilities, which shocked me to my core, and I've never felt the same again. Hello, I'm Mel from EnRichmbs. Many of you will know me already from Facebook, of the same name, and if so, hello, welcome, it's nice to see you on here. If you're new to me, then also welcome, thank you for joining me. So, what is EnRichmbs? It's where you can follow my journey to enrich mind, body and spirit, and also to share positivity and to support each other. So, if you do know me on Facebook, you will know something of my healing journey, and I have shared some of the things that have influenced me in my life. You know that I love nature. Spending time in nature puts me into a sort of meditative state, and through this so many things have sprung forth from this sort of energy transformation, if you like, is one way of putting it. So many things. I have uploaded lots of photos and videos to try and share my experiences, and lots of articles and posts to share my experiences with you. And I'm forever grateful for all the many people who have joined me and support me and follow me on that. And it will continue. It does continue. But I did feel that this YouTube channel gives me an opportunity to expand a little, to share with you a bit more of who I am and what's happening for me, and also an opportunity for us to connect and share as well, which is a key part of this. It's not just about my journey, it's about, if you do connect with anything that I share with you, then I would love to hear from you, and it is an opportunity. I do believe in the power of love, and I do believe that there is positive energy that is manifested and develops the more that we share love and positivity. So one of my aims is, my personal aims, is to speak up or to share and support each other when we're trying to do good things, something that is good for ourselves in terms of our own personal development, or something that's trying to change the world or to help other people. I do believe strongly, and if we support each other, that there is a lot of power in that. There's a lot of focus on the negative, and sometimes because the negative is so dramatic, obviously, and affects us so deeply, that sometimes we forget the power of love because it doesn't work in quite the same bold, dramatic way sometimes. But there is a lot more that I'd like to share about that. There is a story about that. That's just one of the topics. But the reason, like I said in the introduction, the reason why Enrich came about in the first place is that there was a traumatic event that happened. It wasn't just one event, it was the culmination of a series of experiences and my response to those experiences through my life, of course. I want to say that the purpose of this video itself is an introduction to all the different areas that I've been sharing and would like to continue sharing with me on this healing journey. And when I talk about the trauma. I'm not going to mention other people who are involved in those experiences. This is not about naming or judging other people in my life. This is purely about how I dealt with. It's about my personal review, self-reflection, development, because it's about personal development is about being sort of brave enough to look at oneself, not just, it's easy to blame other people in our lives, but to truly develop and to grow and to move forward, we need to look, I believe, at our part, our responses to the experiences we have, because with every experience that we have, we therefore have a choice of which way we're going to go and how we're going to react to that, I suppose. So that is just one thing. This channel and this video as well is not to name other people or to talk about other people, but it's to share a bit about my journey. And also, this is really an introductory video to give you a preview as to the other videos that I am going to be producing and uploading onto this YouTube channel. So, as I said, following this traumatic event where I did actually have a breakdown, and I have to say I was very, very, very fortunate that I had loved ones around me supporting me during the time that followed. If I just give you a bit of background, for anybody who's into astrology, I'm a Virgo. As a child, I was always a very quiet, shy person, very contemplative, loved being in nature, loved daydreaming, and now I know that I used to go into a meditative state as I was a youngster, but because of a number of different experiences throughout my life, so it wasn't just one event, and my own personality and my responses, and through other emotions as a child growing up, such as fear and worry and so on, I used to hold on to, I was very quiet naturally, but I used to hold on to my feelings and not share. And the circumstances around certain things as well meant that not everything was out in the open, and I developed this ability to feel atmosphere and people's emotions from a young age, and through that I tended to want to always be the peacemaker, to help other people, which is a good thing, but it became who I was, that I was the person who I found myself in the middle emotionally, in terms of, oh, there's something wrong between this person, that person, I want to be the person who fixes it. And that became part of my personality all through my sort of early adult life, trying to help, almost being afraid of conflict or anything wrong. I used to feel deeply other people's emotions. So I do believe that I do have sort of empathic abilities. And so because of that, I didn't share. I used to hold things in. I used to be the smiley one. My moniker is sort of Smiley Mels. I used to be, and I still am, but I used to be the one to try and fix things, to try and make everything better. If this is a problem, being a Virgo as well, my approach to life is sort of very sort of, if I can organise things, if there's something wrong or disorganised, then one of my strengths is to try and make it right and organise it and find solutions and make people feel better because I would connect with them emotionally. I'd want to fix that as well. I'd want to try and help, and and I ended up being like the peacemaker in a lot of circumstances, I suppose. Um, and so, what I believe happened is, obviously, from one experience we have our reactions depending on our character and other things, and then that can lead to certain decisions, which lead, and sometimes we can have repeated experiences and a cycle, if you like. And I believe I was trapped in maybe more than one cycle. Many of us, I think, would identify with that. And what happened in the end, which led to my breakdown, was it finally got something, obviously happened, which was the last straw. And everything just came out. I felt as though my spine was removed from my body and I just had no more energy left. So it all took its toll, and this is what happened. And I have to say that looking back on it now, as devastating and as frightening, terrifying as it was, not just for me but for my loved ones as well, looking back on it now, I can say that it was the most helpful thing that happened to me. I don't know how to put it, because obviously it was devastating, but it was in a way the best thing that happened to me, because what happened is it stripped away all those layers. It stripped away that mask that I put on, that everything is fine, there's nothing wrong. If there is, I can sort it. All of that burden that this is my responsibility, that I had kept hold of and put on my shoulders, as well as other circumstances. But I'm talking about, well, for whatever reason. Sometimes the reasons you can understand perfectly the reasons, and you'd look back and you think, well, that would still happen again. You'd think that, but at the end of the day, the choices that I made, and everything who I was, all those masks, because there were many, and layers were literally stripped away, and there was no choice about it. It was my body saying enough, and enough it was. But after that, as I was in this state of deep upset and hurt and trauma, it felt like physical trauma, emotional trauma, and spiritual trauma. And this is why one of the videos that I am going to upload is going to be touching on the spiritual side. This is mind, body and spirit, and that side is the side that shocked me the most. The things that have happened spiritually to me following this trauma have been the most profound. I suppose because of who I was before, I was quite a practical, grounded person, so I can understand anything to do with the mental thought and learning and development. I was good at the psychology. I was good at sort of connecting with people's psychology, definitely, because of those early experiences. But I definitely could connect and understand with anything connected with the mind and the body. I absolutely loved learning about life and how our body works and what is life, all of those things. But the spiritual side was something that I learned. There was something there in childhood, but some deep realizations came out during this time that I'm telling you about now. And so what I want to do on this channel is I want to share a bit more with you. That is a little preview as to a little bit more information than you would have had on Facebook, because there's a limit to how much you can share and connect with people by sharing photos and a few words. So, so I'm just going to give you a summary of what what you could expect, and I do hope that you will subscribe and click the notifications bell as well, because just so that you don't miss any of my new videos that I upload. But I do hope you will subscribe and follow me on this journey. So what you will find, especially how it links with Facebook, is I have a page called Meditation and its Effects. And as I just hinted at, one of the things that I used to do a great deal that used to help me when I was healing was immerse myself in nature. And it would put me into a sort of meditative state. And that was one of the main things. When I was in a meditative state, it helped me explore that. And as I said, lots of things have happened since then. I've had many sort of lucid dreams. I can now see auras. I'm very sensitive to energy around me, much more so. This is what I explained to you about in childhood and how sensitive I was to people's emotions. Now this is a completely different level, and I'm still developing it and learning, of course. But I didn't have any preconceptions. I was just telling myself to accept whatever was happening and just try and be open to identifying and exploring who I am, what's happening with me, and yes, answering that question, who am I really? Because when you feel that all the masks are stripped away and you feel so vulnerable, sometimes, well, for me, it did make me ask that question, well, hang on a minute, if that's not me, who is? So, and it has been an incredible journey, and it continues to be. So one of my pages on Facebook, and the link will be below for all my Facebook pages, if you're interested in any of the things I'm going to tell you about, is Meditation and its Effects. And on that page I tell you some of my lucid dreams. Sometimes I'd wake up and I'd share. It's that fresh. And also through that, I tended to, as I became more self-aware and started to understand who I am more clearly, I found that through this process I would develop my own meditations. I would find my own ways. So I'd start off, I would spend a lot of time in nature. I would join in with lots of guided meditations that other people do. A lot of people do this sort of thing, but it then turned into an ability an understanding of what I can do for myself to put myself into a meditative state or a more receptive state. And that's where then I find I'm more connected to the energy around me, whether it be other people's emotions. I found that I could start to predict things, not at a great high level, and I can't do it deliberately. I have to be in a certain state. But again, the reason I'm mentioning this is I will be exploring this area more on YouTube in my videos to come, because there is a limit, as I say, to how much you can get a feeling across in a few words or a photograph. Okay, so that's one of my other pages apart from my home page, which is about my nature and photography and so on, and inspirational messages as well. But another page that I have is called Peace and Love Global Healing. Oh, I've forgotten the name of it. Peace and Love Global Meditation Events. And the purpose of that is, again, it's not all about me sharing, it's about supporting other people. So that's an events page where if anybody else has an event, a meditation event, or anything that's positive and about uniting and bringing people together with a common, like it might be chanting, it might be, as I say, meditation, distance healing. Okay, I support those by sharing them on this events page, and encourage people to join in, because I do again believe in the power of love, and combined the unity, I think, has a huge effect that sometimes we don't realise. Okay, so that's another Facebook page. The meditation also, I never did any art before in my life, but with these meditations, they, like I said, I started to have visions and real lucid dreaming, and I'd wake up feeling I've had a profound experience, and profound messages through these as well. And what happened is I then had this real feel that I need to paint, and I'd already started doing some little paintings for myself, just for my own interest. I never claimed to be an artist. I've never, done any art before, but I had started doing that just to help myself relax and so on. But what happened here is, I'd have a vision during the night, for example, during a dream, and I would wake up and have to paint it. And some incredible paintings have happened. And so I do have a page on Facebook for I call it the intuitive art of Mel Pross. So you're welcome. There'll be a link below. If you connect with that topic, you do go over and see them. But again, this YouTube channel will give me an opportunity to explain more about where it came from. What is that story? And what actually happened to me, because I'm still incredulous as to how all of this has happened. Yes, so that's my art page. And finally, another page that I have is called Mel Pross Writings on the Wall, and that is my page where I put anything that comes to me in terms of writing. So also, I started writing poetry, and all these messages would come to me, and these poems would formulate, or inspirational messages, I would call them as well. Those would come to me, and whenever I'd have a profound feeling, I would post. So it's like my little poems and articles, stories, anything to do with my writing is on that page, Mel Pross, Writings on the Wall. And again, I ended up writing so many poems, I realised, oh my goodness, I've got so many, that I actually put them together into my own little book. So, and this is, if you're interested in that, that's what it's called, Hush. It's back to front, but it's called Hush. And you can find that on Amazon. But on this channel also, I've already got a few videos, I think about 4 videos, where I've picked out 4 of my poems, and I'm reciting them in an incredible place called Glastonbury, which I absolutely adore. Does something to me just being in the whole of Somerset. This is Somerset, southwest of England. And so that is my book, Hush, and I'm continuing. Every time there's something comes to me, I write on that page, Writings on the Wall. So again, I will be showing some videos to showcase some more, or to talk about more about where these come from. But also, like I say, those are my Facebook pages, and all the links will be below, and also to the book if you're interested. But also, this isn't just about me sharing my story, although the name is about you following my journey, but it's also most importantly, that if it connects with anybody, any of you, please do feel welcome to comment on my videos. I really do want to connect with people who have had similar experiences, or it just connects with them, or they want to ask questions. If you want to share your experiences, please do, and that is up to you. But I do hope that at whatever level you feel comfortable, I do hope that you will subscribe to my channel. That would be brilliant. Like my videos, and please do click the notifications bell, because I have to explain that this is not like a course. I'm not going to upload one video every week or every day. All of this, everything that comes under the umbrella of my Enrich Mind, Body, Spirit, it really depends on how I feel and what happens for me. When something happens, then it comes to me, and I have this need to share, and I will then upload a video. So please do click the bell, because then you won't miss. It will notify you when a new video comes out. So I do hope that you will share with me and join me, subscribe, and it's really, really lovely. It feels like the next step up in my healing journey, and I'm really enjoying so far connecting with everybody, and really hope to develop that more. So please do connect with me and do comment, because I will answer your comments if you have any questions. So do share with me on here, but also don't forget on Facebook as well. You will find me. Okay, so thank you so much for listening to me. I really do appreciate, and thank you for watching this video, and I look forward to seeing you in the next ones. Okay, thank you. Bye bye.